So I take it you guys remember The Cable Guy, the one Jim Carrey film people were turned off by. Pet detectives, idiots, and green cartoon man, that's fine. But a TV obsessed creep? Surely you jest. Well, cue 90s, okay? You're telling me the Venga Boys are okay, the Olsen Twin movies are okay, and Back to Front Caps are okay? But this is where you draw the line? This odd story of a demented loner cable guy stalking some poor dweeb after giving him free cable just didn't click with audiences who weren't ready to see Jim Carrey in a darker role. Matthew Broderick plays Steven, a loser who's on a break with his girlfriend, the lovely, if squeaky voiced Leslie Mann, and is living on his own for the time being. He is visited by Jim Carrey's cable guy who, in about 5 minutes, manages to be about as awkward as humanly possible.
Oh, yeah.
Weirdly, the cable guy reminds me of that creepy mechanic in David Cronenberg's Crash. Chip Douglas and Steven become friends, but when the former oversteps his bounds and acts more than a little bit nuts, Steven breaks up with him as a friend.
I can be your best friend or your worst enemy. You seem to prefer the latter.
There are some classic moments throughout. The intense basketball game, medieval times, the party, and of course the iconic karaoke scene. I just love how seriously he takes himself, like that performance is the performance of his life. I also love how he's manipulating Steven as he's singing. I love that all his friends are freaks. I love the song. He throws him out, Chip tries to make up for what he did, but Steven's not impressed. Chip tries to make amends by fixing Steven's relationship, and beat the shit out of Owen Wilson's obnoxious douche who was taking out the girl for a date.
It's no trouble, really.
I mean, look at that, it's like a cartoon. What's happening? How did he get in the cubicle from underneath? And what's that? That doesn't hurt. After all this, Steven thanks him, but underlines that he just doesn't want to be Chip's friend anymore.
I'm fine.
From that point on, the cable guy gets twisted and plays out kinda like a slasher flick without the slashing.
I just want to hang out.
No big deal. He gets Steven fired, arrested, makes him look like a mental patient in front of his family.
I forgive you.
His friend, played by Jack Black, then finds out that his name isn't even Chip Douglas and he's not actually a cable guy, just some TV-obsessed loon. The film builds up to a GoldenEye-style climax, where Chip seemingly falls to his death onto a satellite antenna. Stiller's film has its share of laughs, but the tragic nature of Jim Carrey's character and the dark underlying tone elevates it from just a goofball Jim Carrey comedy to something more interesting, more substantial. I guess they could have done a bit more with it, but as it stands, it's fucking good.